What if I told you some experiences feel like dreams, but leave scars like reality? In 2021, a young woman went hiking in Hawaii with her sister and her sister's boyfriend. It was supposed to be a simple walk through a tropical forest. They returned safely, but none of them ever described the hike the same way again. Tonight, you will hear her story, and at the end, I will ask you only one question. Was this real or was it a dream? What we're going to talk about today is a post by a girl from Reddit. I'll read it on her behalf. I've been debating for a long time whether I should post this. Part of me thinks it sounds crazy. Another part of me knows it felt too real to ignore. This happened in 2021 in Hawaii. My sister, her boyfriend, and I decided to go hiking. Nothing extreme, just a trail through a tropical forest. We wanted nature, photos, and a chill afternoon. At first, everything felt normal. Beautiful, actually. Sunlight through palm leaves, birds, warm air. The kind of place that feels like a vacation commercial. But about 30 minutes in, something started to feel off. Not scary, just wrong. The trail kept curving in weird ways, not naturally, more like it was leading us somewhere. I joked about it at first, but inside I had this strange feeling like, if we keep going, something important will happen. I didn't know if that was excitement or fear. I've hesitated to post this for a long time, mostly because I'm not sure how people will react. Also because I don't want this story tied to my real identity. But it's been sitting in my head for years and I feel like I need to get it out. Back in 2021, I went to Hawaii with my sister and her boyfriend. It was supposed to be a chill trip. Beaches, hikes, sunsets, all that postcard stuff. One day we decided to hike off the more popular trails. My sister's boyfriend, let's call him M, is the kind of guy who always wants to explore the real places, not just tourist routes. We followed an old, barely visible trail inland. The path felt wrong almost immediately. Overgrown. Quiet in a way that felt heavier than normal. No birds. No wind. Just this strange, hollow silence. After about an hour, we noticed rusted metal peeking through the foliage. Then more. Old cables, bent rails, broken machinery half swallowed by vines. That's when we saw it. A dark opening carved into the rock. Apparently gold used to be extracted there decades ago. No signs, no fences, no warnings, just a decaying hole in the mountainside like it had been forgotten by time. We should have turned back. Instead, curiosity won. Inside, the air was cooler, damp, and smelled faintly metallic. Our phone flashlights lit up piles of abandoned equipment, carts, drills, rotting wood supports, old tools scattered like someone had dropped them and never returned. And then we started noticing it. Veins in the rock that glittered faintly. Chunks of stone with tiny flecks of gold still embedded in them. It didn't feel like a treasure hunt. It felt like walking through the ghost of a collapsed industry. The deeper we went, the more uneasy I felt. There were sections where the ceiling sagged, wooden beams cracked, and the floor crunched under our steps. Every sound echoed too long. Somewhere deeper, water dripped at an irregular rhythm, not calming but counting. Then M found something. A small pile of rocks stacked unnaturally in a side tunnel. Not fallen, placed. We joked about it at first. Maybe miners left markers. Maybe someone camps here. But the joke died fast when we noticed footprints in the dust. Not fresh, but not old enough to be decades old either. We argued quietly about whether to keep going. My sister wanted to leave. M wanted to explore just a little further. I was stuck in the middle, torn between fear and the weird pull of the unknown. We went a bit farther, and then we heard a sound behind us. Not a cave noise, not dripping, not shifting rock. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. We froze. No one said anything. The flashlight beam shook as we turned toward the tunnel entrance, but the darkness swallowed everything beyond a few meters. "Hello," Em whispered, instantly regretting it. No answer, just another step. We didn't run. We didn't scream. We just backed up slowly, hearts pounding, trying not to make noise, until the tunnel widened enough that we could turn and leave without tripping. We didn't stop walking until we were far outside, back in daylight, lungs burning. We never saw anyone, but we all felt it. We weren't alone in there. We never reported the location. We never posted photos. We barely even talked about it afterward, like saying it out loud would invite something back into our lives. But I still think about that mine, about the gold still buried. When we got back home, Em became obsessed. At first, it was casual, jokes. Imagine how much gold is still down there. We literally walked away from free money. But then the jokes turned into late-night messages, links to old mining articles, maps, historical records. He started calculating, estimating, dreaming. One night, the three of us sat in my sister's living room, phones and laptops open, revisiting every photo and video we'd taken inside the mine. The glow of the screens made everything feel clinical, like we weren't talking about a dangerous cave, but a business opportunity. Em leaned forward and said it plainly. We could go back, properly this time. Tools, bags, lights. We take whatever we can carry. My sister immediately said no. I agreed. We reminded him of the footprints, the footsteps, the fact that the place was unstable, that it was illegal, that it could collapse, that someone might already be using it. He brushed it all off. You're overthinking it, he said. It's abandoned. No security, no cameras, no guards. If someone was working there, we'd have seen equipment, fresh tracks, vehicles. I told him we did see tracks. He said that proved nothing. Then we tried a different angle. If we pull this off, he said, we're set. No rent stress, no shitty jobs, no paycheck to paycheck. Just one trip, one lucky break. That's all it takes. For a moment, and I hate admitting this, part of me understood the temptation, the thought of gold still sitting in the rock, untouched, waiting. But fear outweighed greed. We told him we weren't going back. Not now, not ever. He didn't argue much after that. He just went quiet, too quiet. Later, my sister confessed something to me. She was scared he might go back without us, and honestly, so am I. We don't know if he's still thinking about it. We don't know if he's planning something, and we don't know what we might have actually stumbled into. The story doesn't end there. A year later, her sister's boyfriend proposed to her, and she got married. It seemed as if the story would remain in their memories, but her sister's boyfriend wanted to meet with her and told her that when he was preparing a surprise for her sister, he found a contract and correspondence on her computer with a logistics company that had transported 10 containers to the nearest port. The fate of these 3 is unknown. Please tell me, was this someone's dream or a real situation? The narrator presents as a highly introspective and emotionally perceptive individual. She appears to possess strong situational awareness and an intuitive sensitivity to subtle environmental and interpersonal cues. Her reaction to the mind suggests a nervous system that is finely tuned to potential threats, not in a pathological way, but in a way consistent with high empathy and cognitive caution. She demonstrates an internal tension between curiosity and self-preservation. While part of her is drawn to the mystery and symbolic allure of the discovery, Her dominant psychological drive is towards safety, meaning, and long term consequence. This suggests a personality that values foresight and moral responsibility over impulsive gratification. The sister appears emotionally grounded, pragmatic, and oriented towards stability. Her primary psychological motivation seems to be preservation of safety, relationships, and normalcy. Compared to the narrator, she is less preoccupied with mystery or symbolism and more focused on tangible outcomes and immediate risk reduction. Her behavior suggests someone who values emotional equilibrium and tends to avoid escalating conflict, particularly within intimate relationships. However, beneath this calm exterior lies a deeper anxiety, especially concerning her partner. She appears torn between loyalty to him and her instinct to protect herself and her sister from harm. M exhibits a personality shaped by ambition, sensation seeking, and a strong desire for upward mobility, both materially and psychologically. His fixation on the gold suggests more than simple greed. It reflects a deeper craving for control, status, and escape from perceived limitations in his current life. He appears prone to what psychologists often describe as optimism bias, an illusion of control, the belief that he can outmaneuver risk through confidence alone. This mindset can be adaptive in entrepreneurial or high stakes environments, but it also carries a darker side, a tendency to minimize danger, dismiss others' fears, and rationalize ethically questionable decisions. This creates a psychological rift between him and the two women. Where they see risk, he sees destiny. Where they feel fear, he feels potential. In narrative terms, he embodies temptation, not purely villainous, but dangerously persuasive, capable of crossing lines if convinced the reward justifies it. Thanks for watching. Bye.